My name is Chris, and I am the Algo Man here on TikTok. Welcome to today's episode of the Recap Futures for the Nasdaq 100 for September 30th, last day of the month, guys. This is amazing. Last day of the month. In fact, where's my phone? I got to put this thing on vibrate so it doesn't make a whole bunch of noises right here next to me. Sorry about that. Guys, today we're back at it, but we're back to the Nasdaq 100 futures, but with a twist. Instead of sitting in front of your 1 minute chart all day, which is this chart right here on the right, letting signals fly at you like confetti, we're going to slow things down and we're going to sharpen up your process. And so this is going to be a very important recap today. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the 15-minute chart to confirm higher probability trades, then dropping down to the 1 minute execution chart with PredictMO to pinpoint your entries with surgical precision. Because let's face it, watching the 1 minute chart all day, well, that's a one-way ticket to FOMO and over trading. But here's the plan, okay? The 1 minute chart, the 15-minute chart right here, which is what we have to the left. This is the 15-minute, this is the 1 minute on the right. So this 15-minute chart on the left, it gives you structure and clarity. It shows when trend is establishing, when volatility is expanding, when momentum is turning. So we're using this as a master map today, and you'll see exactly where those shifts happen in today's NASDAQ session, okay? So then once the 15-minute gives us the green light, what we do then is we drop down over here to the 1 minute chart and we let PredictMO do the talking. No guesswork, no hesitation, just clean entries, exits, and rotations that were confirmed from top down. So whether you want to use a 2 minute trend chart instead of the 1 minute is up to you. That's trader's choice, okay? But for today, we're locking in on the 1 minute for execution just to kind of give you a little bit more of a fine-tuned approach. And then I'll kind of unpack that when we end it and kind of give you guys a little bit more color on how this works, okay? So without any further delay, guys, let's go ahead and get this bad boy started, all right? So let's do it. I'm going to go ahead and play this back at about 30 times the speed of the market and just kind of let this bad boy run. And I'm going to be watching the 15-minute time frame right here, okay? That's what I'm going to be looking at here, okay? Now the 1 minute chart is just gonna run. I'm gonna ignore it for now. The focus is gonna be here on the 15-minute chart and on the signal generated by PredictMO. Once we have a signal here by PredictMO that price is actually moving in a specific direction, I will go ahead and tune it over to the 1 minute and fine tune our execution. Now, in a real life setting, guys, I probably wouldn't take any trades on the first bar of the day. I'd probably jump in on the second bar of the day, which is this. But for now, I'm going to skip that. I'm going to just kind of let price shake out a little bit, and then we'll see where the actual opportunities flow. This is normally the process that I would follow on any given day when I step into the market, guys. I normally like letting things shake out till about 9:45 in the morning. Then I like to see where price is going to go before I step in and start taking any trades. Now, if you can see the 1 minute, it's just gone all over the place now. It's gone down, it's gone up, it's going down again. And if you're looking at this alone, it's going to create an enormous amount of FOMO. It's going to make you feel like you're missing out, like you need to chase, and it's going to lead to over trading. If you're looking at the chart on the left, this is going to give you a lot more structure in the process of what you're doing, okay? So that's what we're going to focus on today. Less trades and more about the higher quality probability setups that can yield you better risk-reward profiles on the 1 minute chart. So right now we can see that the predictor, which is this orange line, is almost about crossing the zero line right there. And that's one of our clues. We want to make sure that it crosses above zero before we decide to take any action down on the 1 minute. So right here we can see that it just crossed zero. But here's one thing that's very important that you have to remember in the process of trading, okay? Patience is gold, okay? And whenever price, as represented by this green line, is down here below the region-wide threshold, you're still going to have a little bit of oscillation right here in these bars until you actually get a move to where the signal right here, let me go ahead and stop it right there, hits the inflection point. Bingo, right there. The moment that this hits the inflection point, this is where we can begin looking for opportunity to the upside right here, guys. And when we turn to that opportunity here on the 1 minute chart, we can see that, yes, the opportunity began right there. Look at this. When price actually crossed above the zero, the predictor crossed above zero, and you hit the inflection point right there. This seems to be a trade to the upside. So if we were to go ahead and take that trade to the upside, that's where you'd execute that trade to the upside, okay? And you would take that trade to the upside until this orange line actually crosses below the zero line, which is right there, right when it happened. That's the end of it right there, guys. There's nothing else left in the trade. Bingo. It crosses the zero line. There's nothing else left, okay? That's where you hop out of the trade. And to trade something like this, this would have gone from $7.99 all the way to $8.29. That's a 30-point hit, and that's a pretty high probability trade that the move is actually going to roll up, okay, here on the 15-minute time frame. So once you're done with the trade, you don't want to stop and try to re-enter the trade. You want to go back to your 15-minute time frame and see where the cycle might begin, where you might get another opportunity to the upside or the downside. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, this moved really super fast because I've got it set at 30 times the speed of the market. It normally wouldn't move that way, okay? So I'm just going to leave it at that because I'm monitoring the 15-minute. And if I don't leave it set at 30, this thing will take forever to actually switch bars. So let's go ahead and hit the play button and see where it goes on the 15-minute time frame right here, okay? So we're just going to completely ignore the 1 minute time frame for now. And remember, we're only hunting for high probability setups here on the 15-minute time frame, okay? You like the chart side by side? Okay, cool. I'll make sure to keep that in mind for the next session, man. Appreciate the feedback. JBM. So right here, we just had a nice little cyclic cross, but there's nothing here that would tell us, hey, you know what? Go ahead and take a trade to the downside. Right here, you can tell price is already selling off, which is this huge, huge, huge candle. I guess the moment that it crossed, you could have taken a trade to the downside. This could potentially be something to the downside. I don't know if I really want to take that because you're all the way here at the base VWAP. And whenever you're here at the base VWAP, guys, price tends to bounce. I'm going to go ahead and perhaps skip this and see if I see another opportunity that I can nail. So remember, the 1 minute is going to do what the 1 minute does. We're watching the 15 minutes to see where we can see potential opportunities either to the upside or the downside and see it hit the hit the VWAP right there, guys, and that's exactly what I was afraid would happen. It would just stall and bounce right there. So no chasing of trades, especially on the higher time frame. It really respects these levels really, really well. So you got to watch out for that. So let me just pause it for a quick second right here. So right here, if you notice, okay, you got the predictor going up. You had a kink to the upside right here at the inflection point. Okay, could this be a potential entry to an upside trade? Okay, and if you're going to find that, you're going to have to find it right here. Okay, so if I look for that, I'm going to go ahead and reduce this to about maybe 4 times the speed of the market. Otherwise, it's going to go way too fast and move way too fast for me to get a good fill. So you've got PredictMO going above the zero line right there. I will go ahead and wait for it to cross the zero line before taking a trade to the upside.
Order filled.
So we'll take a trade there to the upside. Bingo. Why? Because we've got this bad boy potentially going up. And if it does this and it kinks down,
Order
guys,
filled.
You pop out of your 1 minute time frame because you're going to have a lot of oscillation right here on this bar. So it really got you out at a good point right there. And let's see if we can catch the upside rotation when it goes back up. Now, it did go back up above zero right here. If you're going to take a trade to the upside, you want to do it whenever price hits the inflection point right here. And it's almost there. You're at the base VWAP, which is, these are some of my favorite trades when they're already at the base VWAP because they tend to bounce up really nice. Okay, you got the inflection point hit right there. Oh, and this bad boy just went down right there again. Just let it do its thing.
Order filled.
Take it right there and let this bad boy do its thing. And there you go. Right there, guys. There's a little bit of oscillation. I probably got in a little bit too quick on this bar, and I got caught in the pullback right here in the bar, which was right here, okay, which kind of set me off just maybe about 10-15 points or so. But right here, I caught it right back when it shifted to the upside. And there you go. So I want to get out of this trade the moment that the orange line crosses below zero. That's when I'm going to, hop off this trade and be done. And you can tell that price is an exhaustion zone up here. Okay, so if price is in the exhaustion level up here, guys, it might be a good spot to try to start looking for an exit, which is right there.
Order filled.
Okay, bingo. The moment it crossed below the the moment it crossed below the zero line, that is your exit point right there, okay? So we just took two good trades right here on the chart. We took one that was almost a scratch, and so far the process is working really, really well. So let me pause it and bring this back up to about 30 times the speed so we can speed this up and see if we can see another opportunity print here on the chart, okay? And I will let the 15-minute do what the 15-minute does right here. It's moving at a very nice clip, so I'm not going to increase the speed right now, because if I do, it's just going to make the chart go crazy fast. But this is what we're looking at right here. We're focused on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, we got the first signal here. We took that to the upside. We got the second signal here. We took that to the upside. We don't have any signal here that we would consider taking as a higher probability trade. And we'll just let price do what price does. There's a couple of things I'm going to break down for you guys at the end of the recap that are really important. So stick around, okay? Don't tune out yet, because if you do, you're going to miss out on the best part of the recap, okay? Notice how price, as represented by the green line, is coming down, and you've got the predictor coming down right there. There's a good reason why I didn't take this trade, and I'll go ahead and share it with you guys after I'm done with the recap, okay? But notice how price is right back at the base of the VWAP. This is the base support level on the VWAP. And generally, prices here tend to bounce. If they don't break, they're going to bounce, okay? The first clue is that we want to make sure that we get the orange line to cross above the zero line right there. The moment it crosses above the zero line and we hit the inflection point, then we can look over here towards our execution chart, which is your 1 minute, and decide where to take the trade. Yeah, you can grab it from the link in my bio. Okay, so here we go. Here's what I'm looking at. Let me pause it for a second. We just got a crossing above the zero line, and we just got to hit right here at the inflection point, okay? That's exactly what I want to see when I take these type of trades to the upside. I'm going to bring this down to 4 times the speed of the market. Otherwise, it's just going to go crazy. Also, look here at your 1 minute, how price came all the way down. You're at the base VWAP. Man, if you're at the base VWAP right here, and you had a crossing to the upside by the predictor, and you're right here at the inflection point, guys, there is no doubt in my mind, as to which way this is going to move. I know without a shadow of a doubt that this is going to move up, okay? Especially if you're right here at the base VWAP and you look over to your 1 minute time frame and you're also at the base VWAP, and you also just got a crossing above the zero line, and you also hit the inflection point. These are the type of trades where I don't mind backing up the truck, loading up, and taking
order filled
alongside, okay? Right there. High probability type of trade, okay? Hey, Vivian, glad to have you here. And there you go, guys, right there. And we're going to go ahead and hang on to this trade up until this orange line crosses below the zero line, and then we'll be done.
Wow, did you see that? That's what you call precision.
That was actually a very good entry right there. The reason why the region Ys are set to different values on both charts is because you're measuring a different wavelength in the spectrum. One has a more noisy wavelength versus the other one has a lesser of a noisy wavelength. So what you're trying to do is capture the inflection points on each of those charts, so they have to slightly be adjusted to accommodate the wavelength in each of the charts that you're looking at. That's the reason why they're a little bit different. What country can this indicator? You can use it pretty much in any country as long as you're allowed to use NinjaTrader. And as far as I know, you can go as far as the Middle East with NinjaTrader. Yeah, there's quite a few countries. You could Google that. That's a good question for Google. All right, guys.
Order
right
filled.
That is my exit to this trade to the upside, and that went from 768 all the way to 807 right there in this one massive bar here on the 15-minute time frame. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is kind of unpack this a little bit more for you guys and give you guys a little bit more color on this. Okay, and I'm going to start here with the 15-minute time frame. Now, you're going to notice, okay, I had a really, really good conversation with one of our tribe members, and we went over this exact same chart today, and we kind of went over some approaches to firm up his approach to using the 15-minute to quantify when he wanted to take trades, okay? What is the indicator called? It's called PredictMO. Just checking. What is this indicator? Oh, yeah. Yeah, in fact, there's one guy in our tribe that uses PredictMO on gold. And this guy is like, he sends me screenshots. He sends me like 3 screenshots every day. He's absolutely crushing it on gold, man, using this tool. And the reason why is because PredictMO can foresee price action up to 3 bars in advance. It's a machine learning algorithm unlike anything else in the market. So here's the gist of the 15-minute chart, guys. The reason that you're using this is because you're trying to see where market structure is moving for you to position yourself to execute those high-quality trades on your lower time frame chart. Now, remember at the outset, I told you you can either do that on the 1 minute or the 2 minute. It's really trader's choice, okay? It really depends on one question. How much of the move am I looking to capture? Okay, you're obviously going to capture longer moves on the 2-minute time frame because you're going to use a tool like PredictMO to really capture the long swing in price when price actually takes off, right? You're going to capture less of a move, but a pretty decent move on the 1-minute time frame because the 1-minute time frame tends to be a little bit more noisy. Okay, so it really comes down to trader's choice when you want to trickle it down to your execution chart, whether it be a 1 minute or a 2 minute. So just kind of keep that in mind, okay? Here on the 15-minute time frame, what you're looking for is where is price going to move? And the 15-minute does a great job at pinpointing exactly which way price is going to move, especially with a tool like PredictMO. When price is going to move in the higher probability trades, you normally have price hit the exhaustion point. These are exhaustion points right here, if you notice, okay? These are set at 0.90, okay? And what ends up happening when price reaches these levels, it's pretty much telling you that price has exhausted its move in the direction that it was moving. In this case, down right here, all right, guys? The first clue to tell you that price is actually going to move up is the crossing above zero by the predictor right there. And if you notice, let me get the crosshairs, that happened exactly right there at this bar, okay? The price is still kind of moving around, and the moment that it gets right here to the inflection point, which is this bar, that's when you're looking to take action on the 1 or 2 minute time frame, because right here at the inflection point, once the predictor crosses above zero, this is game time. This is telling you that price is likely to move up, not down, okay? And then you go ahead and execute on the lower time frame exactly the way I showed you guys right now, and you wait for the next opportunity. Now, contrast this move right here where price swings all the way down and comes up, okay? Watch this swing where it really exhausts itself and comes down versus this right here, okay? Right here, it comes down, you have the predictor that crosses above the zero line, which was right here, and then price just kind of pivots up a little bit right there. You see that? You don't get as much energy in the move right there as you would when it kind of comes all the way down right there. Because if you compare the quality of the trades between this trade right here that went up and this trade right here, you got a much better quality trade and a much better fill with this trade than you did with this one right here. And notice, okay, so we have a comparison between this move with price to the upside versus this one, and then what happens at 1300. You have the same thing repeat itself, okay? You have the predictor come down, it goes right back up right here, it crosses the zero line, and you have exhaustion right there again, guys, okay? And the moment that it hits the inflection point right there, it's game on, okay? This is telling you that price is going to take off, and sure enough, it takes off. We tuned it down to the 1 minute, and the 1 minute, you missed them. Okay, sure, I'll be more than happy to show you that. So we're talking about this one now, okay? I'm going to show you exactly where this trade got executed on the 1 minute chart. Now, keep in mind, guys, both times price was here at the base VWAP, and normally when it's at the base VWAP, it normally takes off, okay? And what happened here? It popped. But if we're looking only at the 1 minute chart, let me bring that up right here. Here's the trade that got executed on that 1 minute chart to the upside. We had almost the same set of circumstances where price comes down, hits the base VWAP, and immediately just slinkies up and takes off, okay? So right here, you see the crossing over zero by the predictor, and you see the inflection point hit. You can't get that good of an entry, guys, with any other tool. I mean, this is what you call precision trading right here, where you absolutely time the move on the structural chart, which is the 15 minute, and trickle it down and execute on the 1 minute, guys. This is what trading with precision looks like right here. And you get out the moment it crosses below the zero line. Now, had you been using a 2 minute chart, you would probably stay in the trade for any portion that just kind of trickles up a little bit like that, a little bit more, okay? You can, like I said, it's trader's choice. You want to use the 1 minute, you can. You want to use the 2 minute to really fine tune, you can as well. I think the 2 minute will probably keep you in the trade longer than the 1 minute. The 1 minute is also really good to really help you fine tune the entries and get you in like dead on point where you need to grab the cycle before it goes up. So that's how you use these charts in tandem, guys, to really get refined execution on your trades. You're looking for high probability moves, okay? And that's exactly what this 15 minute and 1 minute combo right here can do. Now, can you do this with a different combination chart, like maybe a 5 minute and a 1 minute? You can't. You're going to get a lot more cycles on the 5 minute than you are on the 15 minute, okay? But you can also do that. It's part of the process of what you do as a trader, and you can certainly do that if you wanted to.